Welcome to episode 13 of the Work Awesome podcast. This is a very special episode and actually kind of an exclusive one because if you're an AVIAN employee, you're going to get some extra information at the end of this episode. This is also the only episode that we've ever posted internally within AVIAN, but it's an important one. We want to introduce Manny, who is our new recruiter, and give you some background information about him and, again, some exclusive information at the end of this podcast. So if you're not an AVIAN employee and want to be, that's how you get that exclusive information. Where should we start? Manny, let's just start with a little bit of background about you, job-wise. Like, what have you done? Where have you been? That kind of stuff.
So I would say for the most part, I started my career actually in mental health. So that was many, many years ago. I then transitioned from mental health to assisting individuals with employment that had disabilities. So that then transitioned to kind of working for the unemployment department for the state of Maryland. So from that, then I moved into recruiting, DOD locally here in St. Mary's County. Then I spent a majority of my work experience there, so probably right around 5 years, and now I'm here.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you, Manny.
Yeah. And I really didn't introduce you guys. So, of course, Tara, who has been on the podcast before, and Sarah, who, of course, has also been on the podcast before, joining us today. Sarah, what's this mean for you? Let's kind of dive off of the general topic of like...
Do we have all day for this?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm really excited to have Manny on our team. He brings a lot of experience to AVIAN. And he's really been part of dynamic recruiting teams before, which I would like to think that we are a dynamic recruiting team, that we're really trying to make sure that we're doing the best to promote work at AVIAN, but also really paying attention to what our candidates are looking for in a position. And I feel like if you look at where kind of the career trajectory that Manny's been on, he's kind of had those experiences both within and outside of the DoD environment that would really make him able to be balanced in that area.
Yeah. Trying to think of where we want this conversation to go. And I think to give a lot of value to folks that may not be an AVIAN employee already, Manny, let's start with you. And since, again, I don't think I mentioned this either, we're really prepared today. This is going to be the last episode for the second season of the Work Awesome podcast. So I think a nice way to wrap it up is just to talk about some like general tips that we might have for people that are looking for a job or looking to transition within their career. And Manny, I am going to put you on the spot and start with you. So do you have like a favorite tip that you always tell people that are looking for jobs that might make it easier for them?
I would say reach out. I mean, you're almost doing us a favor by connecting with us, making sure we know every qualification that you have, so we then can match you with the right position. I mean, the worst that we could possibly say is, look, we don't have anything right now, but at some point we might. Mm-hmm. Things change almost every day, especially in this area. So definitely reach out, make connections with other recruiters here, and then maybe we can build something from that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we do try to, really pay attention to what we're hearing. I mean, we're very busy, so sometimes we might not be able to get back right away. Sometimes, reaching out on LinkedIn, just kind of connecting. But it is really good to know kind of that someone's in the market looking for a position. If we don't have something right now, we might later, or we might know of other companies that do have something that would be a good fit that, that we can point them in the right direction too.
So during this season, the AVIAN website actually transitioned from using one applicant tracking system to a new one. In the old one, we had the job postings on there for future opportunities. Is that still on there?
So actually, one of the things that I like about this, the new way we have it set up, is that there is an option if you don't see a position that is a great fit for you right now, you can still submit your resume and create a profile. And the system that we're using right now makes it very easy for you to make updates to that profile. You're not starting a new application every single time.
Right.
So we have that consistency.
Yeah, so that is nice because with the older, our old system, if you wanted to apply for 3 jobs, you had to literally fill
apply
out
for 3
and
jobs.
apply
Right.
for 3 jobs.
Absolutely.
This, you say, I want to apply for these 3 jobs. Here's that information, and it's applicable for all of them.
You've got the same username, the same password. Your resume is in there. There might just be a couple other questions, or you might just be hitting, submit to this job.
Yeah.
On average, what did Emily tell us the other day? It took less than 2 minutes to apply. So
Oh,
super quick.
Yeah.
Super quick.
And
Yep.
You have time.
Is that so? Do you know, is that initial setup, or is that when they already have their profile set
Initial
up?
setup.
Yeah.
So
Initial
from
setup.
creating a username, password, doing the application.
So I
less than 2
imagine
minutes.
when their profile's already set up and they come back to the AVIAN
Super
website,
easy.
it's going to be like 10 seconds.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there a tip in there, Sarah? I don't know if there was.
Shoot. Oh, was I supposed to give a tip too?
Let's just go around the table and see and listen to what your
Okay.
tip is.
So I think my biggest tip would be to reach out, but also pay attention to the jobs. If you are applying for a job that you're not qualified for, then chances are you're not going to be called for that position. I mean, it's great that you have the resume in the system and all that, but we have to have qualifications for the jobs that we're hiring for. There can be some creativity. Maybe if there sometimes is experience can be substituted for a degree, but that's typically listed in the position. So, and I think the biggest thing is just set up those job reminders or job, subscriptions. I mean, I get LinkedIn and I try to keep track of what is open in our area, and I receive them daily. And I mean, there are new positions posted daily.
Yeah.
Right. Eve, just to piggyback on what she said, within the new applicant tracking system, if there isn't anything that you can apply to, you can also select some of the things that you're interested in or
Yep.
you think you might be qualified. And as new positions open, you'll then receive an email saying, hey, AVIAN opened this position today. Go ahead and apply. So you kind of get your first opportunity.
Yeah, because
at
we
that
have
point.
that resume in the system then. So we are constantly using, our resume, our applicant tracking system is like a database of resumes for us. So if we have your resume in there and we're searching for candidates that are qualified for like an engineering position, say, and maybe you weren't qualified for one last year, but now you have an additional year of experience.
Right.
So now you're qualified. Chances are your resume would come up. I would still encourage people, if they're really interested in a position, to apply fresh to that position. But we do have access to that database. So that's great advice.
Yeah. Seeing the new system from the back end and seeing how powerful it is, I think it's a great tool for you guys. So
Yeah, definitely.
and obviously our applicants too, because it's going to help them stand out to you.
Right,
as well.
exactly. We have great sourcing capabilities with it and searching capabilities, so it's really nice.
Yep. Tara, your turn.
My turn. I'm just gonna sit here and nod and be very supportive of your great
I love
answers because I am probably the one with the least amount of.
Nah, you've been on like at least 5 episodes.
That's true. No, I like what you guys were saying, but I think that my tip would probably be, so I understand like reaching out to the recruiter, absolutely, like that. You guys are here to help serve and really make it a great experience for the candidate and for the employer. But people within companies and the people that you know within companies and really seeing if you can put some feelers out.
Yep.
And maybe they can kind of help run interference. If somebody reached out to me, I would, if I am willing to vouch for that person, I'm happy to reach out to Sarah and be like, hey, I've got this great person
absolutely.
that,
And we love that.
yeah. So allow people like within the company to kind of talk through it as well, while you're also reaching out to the recruiter.
Yeah, and that speaks back to that. Once you're looking for a job, make sure everybody knows you're looking for a job.
Yep.
Yeah. I think my tip, just thinking about all of the episodes. So now we have 33 episodes of the Work Awesome podcast.
Wow.
And my brain is ready to explode. But thinking of all of those episodes, the ones that obviously stand out to me are the creative episodes. So my biggest tip for if you're a creative person applying for a job, update your portfolio. Make sure that you're tailoring your portfolio. We talked about that
and your resume.
That portfolio resume.
Right.
Yep, and your
Creative
resume.
or not, tailor that resume.
Mm-hmm. So making sure that I guess there's a lot of tips here. Do your research. From that research, tailor your resume, tailor your portfolio to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward for whatever job you're applying for. What else should we talk about? I'll open it to you guys.
Well, I mean, I was really excited to kind of hear your thoughts on the environment right now about, okay, so we have our tips of if you're looking for a job right now, but the job market, I feel like, is kind of interesting right now.
It's, you know what? It's tough. I mean, we've been talking about that. Manny and I have been talking about that every day since he started.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody wants remote.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have that capability, of course, great. Be flexible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what everybody's looking for. So, I mean, if we have that opportunity, of course, we're going to be there for them if that's what they need.
Yeah, finding that sweet spot of what works for you and your family, and now how people have learned over the past year a new way to work that they can be effective in that environment for the people that really enjoy that. So finding these new jobs or even new opportunities where you're like, well, I'm going to maybe take that opportunity because it allows me to get the best of both worlds. It gives that really good blend of my work life and my home life. I've been seeing articles. I've been hearing things from different friends. I heard something recently that, I'm gonna ride out the summer and then I'm gonna look for a new opportunity. I'm like, well, that's really interesting. So just the way in which people are thinking right now about how they're going to even enter that job market.
Sure. And my predictions for AVIAN was still hiring really strongly throughout the pandemic. So that's not necessarily what I expected to happen. I kind of was like, wow, I wonder if I'll still have a job, because I was thinking maybe there would be a slowdown, but we really didn't have slowdown of hiring. So I'm at a loss as to what to predict, because I also thought that I would be seeing more applicants than we're seeing right now. And more people now that, things are opening up a little bit and childcare is open and the children were returning to school at the end of the year, in-person school a little more often, more regularity. I thought we would see a change, but I haven't seen as many applicants as I thought I would see.
So I guess my hypothesis, and we've already talked about this, but there's this term going around the internet, because I am a being of the internet, called revenge vacation, which I'm guilty of it myself. I'm leaving Wednesday to go on a week-long vacation, and I'm coming back for a week and leaving for another week-long vacation. But everyone's traveling right now because they can, because they feel safer doing that. People are getting vaccinated. So I'm wondering if in the fall, when we've all run out of money and run out of will to travel, we'll see those applications come back up to where they were before.
I hope so, because we always love to bring new talent to AVIAN, and it's fun for us sometimes and challenging for us to source talent, but it's really exciting when someone applies and you're like, oh wow, this person really wants to be here. And they're qualified, and they're so excited when you call and they're like, hey, I've been wanting to find a position like that. Like that's really a win-win then.
Right.
Yeah. I know you guys have a meeting that you need to go to, so we are running kind of short on time. So this will be a shorter public episode. If you're an AVIAN employee, stick around for just a few more minutes, because we're going to jump into some very exclusive information for you guys.
Can't wait.
And here at Terra, I guess before I say that, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify, thank you for watching and listening. And I think new episodes will be dropping probably in the fall sometime. So definitely keep an eye out on our social media pages for when the next season of the Work Awesome podcast is going to be coming out. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video on YouTube. I just want to jump in and say that if you are not following the Work Awesome Network on all social media platforms, I highly encourage that. It's the place to get updates on blog posts, on new episodes, on basically anything related to the Work Awesome Network. So jump over to wherever you get your content from, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're on all the platforms. If you are interested, we also publish these same episodes on audio platforms. So you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and pretty much anywhere you get your podcast. So if you would rather listen to this in an audio format in the car, on the way to work, in the office, I encourage you to jump over to those audio platforms and listen there. I also want to say, if you're interested in learning about the company behind the Work Awesome Network, AVIAN, you can jump over to the AVIAN website at avian.com, AVIAN.com. Thanks again for watching this video. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. It helps the video out. It helps it get in front of more people. Thank you again. And now back to this episode.